So today we're working on how to release some of the tightness in the hip flexors while we work the low abdominals. So what I want you to do is start lying down on your back for me. And then I want you to find where your hip bones are, okay? So that's that bony part of your pelvis. And then I want you to walk your fingertips about 2 inches in. So that is right where your six-pack meets your other abdominal muscles, right? So if you think about the definition of the abdominal muscles, where that crease or that line is, and we all have that, right? Because I didn't eat a ton of vegan ice cream last night, right? So my six-pack is totally noticeable. But anyways, so from here, we're finding the point 2 inches inside our hip joint there. And then all I want you to do is to exhale and feel those muscles kind of stretch this way. So kind of widen. And then let it release. And do that again. Exhale. And you can feel those muscles tense, correct? So those muscles, the lowest layer of the muscles wraps around our back and connects, wraps around our hip bones and wraps and supports our low back. So from here, take another deep inhale. Exhale, feel the muscles underneath your fingertips, pull flat and wide. And last one, inhale and exhale. Okay, so we've got that feeling of tension here. And then we're just gonna take your right foot, and I just want you to float your right foot up 2 inches. So think of your leg being really lazy. Think of your leg being just super soft. And when I do that, my pelvis wants to tilt to the side. So I need to use the muscles in my abdominals to stabilize my pelvis. And then inhale, put it down. And then you're gonna do that again. Exhale to organize the muscles. And then let your left foot be lazy and just lift it up 2 inches. And then put it on down. So what I want you to do is I want you to start feeling how your abdominal muscles react to your legs lifting. My back wants to arch a little bit, so I'm gonna try to keep that really flat. And something else I want you to think about is there's that hip flexor muscles right through here that you can tense and pick your leg up from your leg muscles. But what I'd like for you to do is see, can we initiate from the thigh bone and then put it on down? So we're just gonna keep doing this. This is, I tell my clients, this is the mind-body part of Pilates, where it's like, okay, I have to visualize that, I have to apply all these concepts and see, can I feel this in my body? These are stabilizer muscles. So if your stabilizer low ab muscles were on at 100% all the time, we wouldn't be able to do anything else, right? So we want those to stay on at a good consistency, and then our bigger muscles are responsible for the bigger motions. So I've had marathon runners or people who are competitive cyclists, I guess you say, like they do like Tour de France type things. And their times actually get better when they start doing this work because they know how to fire those muscles. So from here, you're just gonna keep going back and forth. Hopefully, you've been able to click in to what your low abdominals are doing right now. And then let's go ahead and take the right leg to tabletop for me. So I was trained by Marie-Josée Blum, and she used to say, your hip is the olive and your thigh bone is the toothpick. So can you let that thigh bone settle down into the socket so the top of your hip is really soft, but you're still working through your low abdominal here. Now, I want you to inhale and straighten your leg out. You're still feeling your abdominals. And then from here, exhale, pull your leg in from your low abdominal. So I'm gonna do it once going from my leg. If I just go out, in, I'm going from my quad, right? My quad and hip flexor. From here, can I try and work from my low abdominal here? And if I work really nice and slow here, I did these yesterday with a bunch of clients, and I really felt my low abdominals and my inner thighs. So start to really feel the musculature of the abdominals and the legs working together to support the pelvis. Let's inhale as we straighten the leg out, and exhale, pull the leg in. 2 more times like this. Inhale, straighten the leg out. And exhale, pull the leg in. Feel the muscles underneath your fingertips tense. Tense in a good way, like tone, I should say. 3 more times. I probably said 2 times ago. And last one. Okay, so take your arms down by your sides for me. Make sure your left foot is really parallel, and make sure your thigh bone is soft in your hip socket. And now we're gonna stretch that hip flexor on the left side and roll back down. All right, let's do this again. Exhale, lift up. Inhale, come back down. And again. So, when the hip flexors get tight as well, a lot of times the hamstring isn't firing properly to hold us up. So there's just like a lot of gripping in the pelvis going on. So when we do this, we are opening the front of the thigh here, but contracting the back of the thigh here. And that's what we want. 5 more times like this. 4, 5. And 4. 3 more. Here we go. And 3. And 2. And 1. You're going to hold it up there. Straighten your right leg up toward the ceiling. Inhale, flex your foot. We're lengthening out here. Exhale, use your low abdominals to pick that leg up for 10. And inner thigh, low abdominals, pick that leg up. That thigh bone sinks into the socket. And 7. And 6. And 5. I'm really pressing my triceps down into the floor, even though we're concentrating on hips and low abdominals. We can still work our arms in 2. And 1, let's hold it. Little pulses up. Squeeze. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Roll it down for me. Bring your leg down. And then from here, prop yourself up on your elbows. Okay? So from here, what I want you to do is turn your leg out. So my toes are pointing toward you. I'm feeling my low abdominals pull in. So when we externally rotate, we get out of the hip flexor a little bit. When our hips are tight, you'll get that crunchy feeling in the front of the hip flexor. When we rotate the leg out, we tend to get a little bit more openness. From here, like there's a string attached to my inner thigh. Lift your leg up and down. So once again, the string from my inner thigh goes to my low abdominals, and I pull my leg up as I pull my abs in. And do this again. And again. Coordinating the breath with the movement. So you're going to exhale on the exertion. And 9. Good. And 8, squeezing the low abdominals. And 7. And 6, feeling that inner thigh low abdominal connection. And 5. And 4. 3 more. And 3. 2 more. And 2. And 1. Good. Okay. So then from here, we're going to make it a little bit more challenging. So we're going to illustrate the tightness and the weakness of the hamstring and postural muscles in conjunction with how the tightness and the weakness of the hip flexor works together. So from here, we're gonna work your hip flexor a little bit. And when you feel the hip flexor fatigue, then you're gonna feel some more work in the low abdominals. So you're sitting up as tall as you can through your spine. If you're not super flexible, sit on something. So get a pillow, get a yoga block, something underneath your hips. I'm pulling myself up as tall as I can. My toes go back toward my nose. I'm feeling that toothpick go into the olive. Lift your leg up and down. And again. So I know, for example, some people that are really well trained in fitness, and they're saying that that this creates a lot of blood circulation. It's a big muscle, the hip flexor, and that's really good. But for them, they're so used to using it, it can fatigue a lot. So from there, try to feel that thigh bone pull into the hip socket and more of the work coming into the pelvis. And so if you've had that experience, just message me and let me know if this works for you. But we're just really trying to feel, okay, yeah, we're getting some heat through here, but we're also getting some work through here. 5 more times like this. For 5, and 4, and 3, and 2, and 1. Hold it. Turn your toes out, lower it down. Here we go, second set. So I'm using my arms to really pull myself up, lift your leg up and down. Now, if you start to feel the outer part of the hip working more, pull your heel more across your midline. Cross it over a little bit more, you'll feel a little bit more inner thigh. And 3, and 4. This is definitely not one of those baby step type exercises. This is one of those we threw you in the deep end exercises and your body figures out how to adjust. But what I love about these exercises is there's really, you can't cheat, right? Because, you have to sit up and you have to lift your leg so that the muscles in the body are forced to work. So this is the opposite of what we did before. This is not mind-body, this is body-mind. 5 more times like this. For 5, and 4, and 3, and 2, and 1. Okay, let's give you a little stretch for that, that's a lot of work. You're gonna lie on your stomach for me. And we did this last week in our back body series, but I still love it because I think it really illustrates how the pelvis, the hamstrings, the quadriceps, hip flexors all work together. So push your elbows down into the floor. Feel your belly button pulling up off of the mat. Then from here, try to keep your knees relatively parallel. Point, flex, put your toe down. Do the other side. Point, flex, put your toe down. Your abdominals are pulling in. And 3, point, flex, put your toe down. Good. And 4, point, flex, put your toe down. And 5, I'm scooping my abs in. I can see a little bit more space when I put my leg down, so I still have to work on this. But we're all working on our stuff, right? 5 more times like this. 5, and 4, and 3, and 2, last one. Good, okay. So go ahead and bring yourself up. We're gonna come on up to kneeling. All right, one more thing before we go to the other side. So we're working on lengthening the hip flexors and feeling the abdominals. I'm gonna turn towards you for a second so you can see what I'm doing, but right now I have my heels together and my toes apart. You can, as an option, go here if that feels like a better stretch for your hip flexors. A lot of people, I feel like it's easier for them to bring their tailbone under if they bring their heels together and their toes apart. Just make sure your shoulders are stacked over your hips properly. From here, turn your palms to face up. You're gonna exhale, hinge back, bicep curl, and straighten. You can always do this with weights. I just decided that I didn't want to have you guys bring props today. Thought it was kind of like a lunchtime quickie. So here we go. And hinging back and forward. Now I'm gonna do it kind of improperly once so you guys can see where my hips are out and my tailbone is pointing this way. So bring it under, lengthen your hip flexors. 5 more for 5. Now if you have a dance background and you're like really hunching into here, bring yourself to parallel. See how that works. See if you have to work a little harder to get that stability. So whatever your body is used to doing, do the opposite of that. 5 more times like this. For 5, and 4, and 3, scooping the abs in, pubic bone to the rib cage, and last one. Okay, let's come on down. I'm going to turn to the other side so you can see what I'm doing, and we're going to lie down on our backs and work on firing our left lower abdominals here. So from here, go ahead and let's start with our marching. Exhale, feel your abdominals flatten. Then lift your left leg up 2 inches. See if you can keep your pelvis flat and put it on down. And then go to the other side. Lift and bring it down. Good, and again, 3. Really heavy leg. Like you want the leg to be lazy and think of the abs working. 4. And 5. And 6. And 7. And 8. 2 more times like this. So this is really simple, but if you can start to feel these abdominal muscles fire, this is more valuable than, to me, than a bajillion planks. You can take me up on that. Okay, so here, my left leg's at tabletop, my thigh bone is soft in the hip socket. Inhale, straighten your leg out. Exhale, pull your leg in, softening. Inhale. Exhale, feel the muscles from the inner thigh pull toward the pelvis. And 3. Good. And 4. And 5. Good. And 6. Really softening the outer thigh, feel the inner thigh come in. And 8, deepening the thigh bone connection into the hip socket. 2 more times like this. And 9. And 10. Okay, straighten that leg out. Bring your, oops, you know what? We need to do our bridging, excuse me. So inhale here, your left leg's at tabletop, and then you're gonna lift your hips up and come back down. And again, for 2, and come back down. Now I'm trying really hard to engage my abdominals and keep my pelvis stable here. It's kind of touch and go, if I'm being honest. 5 more times like this. For 5. And 4. And 3 more. And 3. 2 more. And 2. Last one. Hold it up there. Extend your left leg up. Lower the leg, and then try to lift the leg from the inner thigh, low abdominals. Now I have a little bit of a weird hip here, so I can feel it clicking on the outside. Recommit to pulling your hips up, engaging through the hamstring, squeeze the abdominals to pull the leg up. And 5 more here for 5. And 4. And 3. lower yourself down. Stretch your leg out. Sit yourself up. Let's prop yourself up on your elbows. Now from here, I'm turning my leg out. My heel's going up toward the ceiling. My shoulders are rolling back and down. And then I'm taking my abdominals and rolling them back. So I'm trying to connect where my ribs and my hips are, but still keep my chest open. Inhale. Exhale, lift that leg up and slowly bring it down. And again for 2. Now I'm looking at my abs here. I love exercises where I can physically see what's going on with my body, because then it helps me like, okay, I can tell that my abs aren't pulling in, so I better engage them. 5 more times here for 5. And exhale on the exertion. Inhale to let it come down. 4. And 3. 2 more like this. And 2. Last one. Good. Okay. So then we're going to sit ourselves on up. We're going to find our nice tall posture. Ears over shoulders, over ribs, over hips. We're going to hug our opposite knee, that's our right knee, into the chest. Flex your foot. Exhale, lift your leg and lower. And 2. Good. So the first few times I did these, I was like, it's all quad. And then as you start to get more strength, you start to feel more of the different muscles inside the hip working. So if you guys try this, and you're like, just let me know what you felt. I'm always so fascinated by what people feel during exercises. And sometimes this can be it can be really telling, like where we can adjust the body or what sorts of things we can work on. 5 more times like this. For 5, and 4, and 3, and 2, last one. Now, recommit to sitting up nice and tall. Pull your heel towards your midline, toes point out. Balance a glass of champagne on your heel, and lift your leg and lower. So you're feeling that inner thigh-low-abdominal connection. 2, and 3, and 4, and 5, and 6, and 7, and 8, 2 more times like this, and 9, and 10. Amazing. Okay, so let's go ahead and lie on our stomachs, and let's do a little bit to stretch the fronts of the quads and the hip flexors and the front of the body. So you're gonna lie down on your stomach. You're gonna let your head turn to one side, and then let's hold our hands behind our back. So from here, you're gonna go ahead and interlace your hands, stretch your arms back, and then come down. And then when you rest your cheek down, 3 kicks. 1, 2, 3. Straighten the arms out, tailbone down, abs pull in, other side. And 1, 2, 3. Straighten those arms, lift your chest, pull your belly button up off the floor, head comes down, and 3 kicks. 1, 2, 3. Go ahead and straighten out. And come on down. One more time. 1, 2, 3. And straighten and stretch. Good. Bring yourself back. Okay, so I'm gonna finish with a bit of a pigeon stretch here. So what I'd like for you to do, if it's available to you, you can go into your pigeon, bringing your leg forward. If this doesn't work for you, then what I want you to do, I'm gonna sit facing you so you can see, is that I want you to go ahead and sit with your feet crossed, maybe pillow your hips up. If you're able to get your leg back behind you, I want you to think of getting your shoulders and your hips parallel to the front edge of your mat, and I want you to take your inner thigh and kind of spin your inner thigh up toward the ceiling. So if I'm facing you, this outer part of the hip is mushing down, the inner part is coming up, and then I'm squaring my hips. okay? Then from here, slowly walk forward onto your elbows. So the main thing here is that if you have tight hip flexors, a lot of times external rotation can be harder. So what I want is you want to help encourage that external rotation, just a little bit of a manual adjustment. I'm going to show the modified version, so those of you going for the full shebang, stay there. Those of you that are a little tighter, you can either stack the legs or have one foot in front of the other. I want you to really flex through your feet, walk your hands forward, back is flat. So you want to feel the outer hips roll down, the inner thighs rotate up. Same thing we've been working on. And then walk yourself on back. Okay, so let's switch sides. I'm going to show the full version and then work backwards into the modification. So if you're going into the full version, your left foot will be forward. Your shoulders and hips are parallel with the floor. And then you're going to go ahead and make sure, if you have the flexibility, it's bring that shin forward, okay? So from here, you're going to mush that left hip flexor down and then walk yourself forward. If this doesn't work for you, then you're going to sit with your left leg front, your feet flexed. You can pillow up your hips, and then I want you to walk your hands forward. And you're just lengthening through the chest. Just give me a few more breaths here. Really flex through the feet no matter what position you're in. That'll help protect the knee joints. We want to concentrate the stretch in the hips. And bring yourself up. So that was a quick workout for hip flexors to help us access our low abdominals. I hope you guys liked it. And leave me some comments or send me some messages. Let me know what you thought. All right.